Hello everyone, welcome to Mitsumaru City. In my last video I put all this stuff here, and today I'm going to fly over and show you where I'm going to build something new. There's some wonderful little streets down there. I can see an office block and my little crane that I built. I'm building the whole city day by day. Here is the place I want to build a bank. I'm going to build a rather large bank finance tower, which is going to be the HQ of Mitsumaru Bank. It's also going to be a place where people can go in and get some cash out real quick, because there'll be a couple of ATMs there. To make this building, I'm using quartz blocks, which are nice and white. I'm also going to use white acrylic, which is available on the Yuushya mod. And for the windows, I'm using blue mosaic windows, which are from the McCaw's Windows mod. I really like McCaw's. I totally recommend using that. Once the first floor is gone in, I go around the entire building and put this little frame there. It's actually difficult to work with, but it looks cool. I add a few more windows and then start framing the rest of the windows with this beautiful little frame. That frame is available from the Cocricot mod actually. You put it on in 2 blocks next to the windows just like that. Those windows look spectacular, and they also look very financy, don't they? The side wall there that doesn't have the windows in, I'm going to keep that for a stairwell. If you put windows in and then a stairwell, it often makes it very difficult to put the stairs in. You can see through and you can see half blocks and things. So you need one wall in a house or a building that doesn't have any windows. I quickly pop into Axiom mod to add a bit more flooring, and then I add this little sunken area in the corner, which can be for some sofas and coffee tables. This looks really good, and it's only the ground floor. I put in some simple white doors, make sure there's plenty of space for columns. They are marble columns, by the way. You can find those on the Yuushya mod as well. And that's the space for the stairwell. Notice how it doesn't have any windows interfering with it. That's the plan. I quickly level off the area, pop into Axiom mod, copy it, and paste the entire first floor. The idea for this is that I can build up the floors quickly by copying and pasting a pre-existing template. Once that's done, I go in and basically change a few things like remove the doors, make sure I can get the stairwell in nicely. I'm also going around and just checking the frame, because some of the frames I'm making mistakes with. You see how that looks good? I've got to make sure it looks good all the way around, otherwise the building is going to be in a bit of trouble. I have to go around and change some of these windows. I like the idea of having windows all the way throughout, but as I did just explain, if you put in windows where you want a stairwell, there could be trouble. And there's going to be trouble. So I put in more of those frames, make sure it's all good all the way around this building. That's actually big enough for a bank, isn't it really? Then I take away those windows again, because the stairwell cannot be seen through the windows, otherwise it looks rubbish. Here is the stairwell on the ground floor, which is the first floor, and here is the stairwell on the second floor. I'm just trying to figure out exactly how I can put a wall in. So I'll build the stairs first, make sure they're going in nicely. For the stairs, I'm using smooth marble. I think they go quite well with the smooth quartz there as well. It looks like a very nice white building, and it's very corporate too. The second floor is complete, so now I need to copy the first floor and the second floor together, so I pop into Axiom mod and paste them in. This way I can build the tower very quickly and efficiently without having to put down all of the blocks all of the time, because it does take ages to build it like this. It's now 4 floors and it's very, very big. This is a big bank, but don't forget this is going to be a corporate HQ as well as a bank. It's not going to be a little outlet shop that you can find in the city. I'll add one of those later. Now I'm building the stairwell up. I've got it like this and it does look okay. You've got 2 going up, and then a wall in the middle with 2 going down. That's the best kind of stairwell I could do for this building. I don't want to add elevators yet, and I certainly don't want to use the slime blocks because they don't work. I add in a few lights at the front. The building is almost complete, but like I said, I want this to be a tall finance building. So around the side I add a few of these little doorways. They're going to be for a fire escape, because I want it to be nice and safe. People do not want to be dying in the bank. Certainly not. Oh look, there's part of my crane. That was scary. I go into Axiom mod, copy in 2 more layers. It's like a big sandwich, isn't it, this? I'm happy with that, but I want to make it a little bit taller. So this is the final size of the building. There's plenty of floors now, isn't it? It's 8 in total, with the top floor being the utility space. I make sure to add that so it's nice and safe. I put in a few doors, which I'll change in a minute, and this little structure at the top is going to be for the stairwell. That's the access point. Now I poke in a few more window spaces for little balconies at the side, and then I start working on the design for the balcony. I like this balcony, it looks good, so I try some of the standard Yuushya mod windows here. I think they look rather spectacular, don't they? They look good and it offsets a little bit to the blue ones. I go in with Axiom mod, I copy the balcony space again and paste it in. It looks rather nice, I'm happy with that. It's a good balcony, but it's also an enclosed balcony, and I feel that the windows are wrong, because the previous windows are those dark blue ones, and the usual ones don't really work. So I opt to have an open balcony space here. This is going to be a little staff room area, I guess, for some of the bankers to go outside and enjoy some coffee in the morning or whatever. That looks really good, so I copy and paste with Axiom mod all the way up the building, and then I've got plenty of space for balconies. Now I can start working on fixing a fire escape. This is rather dangerous, as the music indicates, and it's also rather difficult to do. So to build this wonderful little fire escape area, I'm using iron stairs and iron trapdoors. I make sure to paste everything in, and I'm gonna have to add a little staircase as well, a banister. That way people don't fall off the edge and die. This looks like a very nice stairwell, doesn't it? I basically build it like this, being careful of the frame at the side. That's a rather painstaking thing, and I don't want to interfere too much with the balcony space. Once I've got this template, I cannot copy and paste it. I do try, I copy it like this, look, and paste it in with the Axiom mod, but look how it leaves all those lines, so I have to remove it and build the whole thing manually, which is really painful to do. I won't bore you with the details, I'll just move forward a little bit to show you the process. The entire stairwell has gone in nicely, and I'm about to reach the ground floor. Looks good like that, it goes all the way to the top. So now I'm just going to start working on adding the staircase banisters and making sure that the frames are all perfectly lined up on the walls of the office building. That way I don't have any trouble. It works, it does look good, so now I've got to put in these little banisters all the way across. It looks good like this, and it's nice and safe. If you're enjoying my video, subscribe. I really would like the subscribers to my channel because I'm trying to build this to be something. I've got a job, but I want this to be my career, you know? It's something special that I really enjoy. At the bottom of the stairwell, I have to mess with the parking lot wall a little bit in order to fit the banisters into the wall. But that's not a problem with the Yuushya mod, because there's plenty of tools you can use to help. One final touch is to add the rest of the banisters, and then once that's finished, I take a moment to have a think about it, and I'm going to put the lights in. So I grab myself a little light and stick them all the way across the side there, and then stick a little fire escape sign in and paste those in as well. You can just about see them. I also need some doors, so I stick in these metal doors, which are like utility doors if you ask me, and that's done. On the top of the building, I start working on the utility space. One of my friends showed me how to make these ventilators using rails and ovens, and they look really good, don't they, like that? I use the soot pipes from the Yuushya mod. Everything looks great with a little pipe in there as well, and then I go back and add lots more details, like these little dispensers with some steam coming out. The steam is available on the Cocricot mod. I add some drains up there with a pipe in the middle. I guess those drains are supposed to be like little vents. They're not actually drains, you know? I'm not cheating anybody. I add some air conditioning units around the side, make it look like a nice technical little area, which is a utility space for the bank. Don't forget, the bank's going to have a lot of money, so they're going to spend a lot of money on making sure this place is nice and safe and secure for everybody who works or visits. I add a few of these little towers at the top. These are little communication towers, and it does look great. I'm happy with that, it looks amazing. Now I can show you with first-person mode how to build a little room for your AC machines. First, I stick in a bunch of trapdoors on this wall. It does look a mess, but I close them all so I don't have to worry. And now I've got a little space for the AC units, look, it's nice and secure. I remove away those little bits of the concrete blocks there, and then I basically move the AC unit to where I want it to be. And I control middle click it to grab the block state. I've learned that recently. Paste them in so there's 3 AC units there, and then just close the doors. Done. At the side here, look, I put the trapdoors in. They can sit nicely onto those AC units, and then I just close them. So there's a little private space for a few vents. I think that's good. I don't know how safe it is, because surely the wind will be, you know, touching those things, but never mind. I put in a few more AC units there. I need to find some other stuff to put up here, because this is the utility space. I'm going to add a box. I think that would look good. So I'm just going to pop the box here. Now people cannot access the area. Oh no. I'm also going to add some power units. I like the rusty ones actually, but there's a lot of different choices for power units. So here I stick in the power units here. Doesn't really matter what they are, what they do, I don't understand it anyway, but they do look good. Another rusty one, I kind of want to put it there. I'll shift it up and across, look, like that, just with the GUI tool. Nope, I'll put this big one in and then just shift it across like that, because that way I've got more space, haven't I? Another big one there, yeah, rusty one, that looks good. Okay, plenty of those. I'll just shift that one into the middle, look, so it's got nice space. Over here, I'm going to add one of these more expensive ones. One of those electrical ones that I don't understand. I think it's pretty much done. I'm just trying to think what else I could add here. I know, I want to add some water bottles. Maybe this old one as well, a wine bottle, and maybe these. I think they would look better. These are water bottles for the machine. So basically, I turn it into an entity and rotate it with the GUI tool, lift it up a little bit, control middle click that one, and then just stick it down. So there's 2 water bottles up here for people who are thirsty. Looks good. The utility space is done. Or is it? I also need to add a little drain system and some kind of vent system to go round. So here I've just got to work out a little bit more issue with the frame before I start putting in the drains. Then I can start pasting them in. Sadly, there's a lot of frames in the way, so I've got to copy and paste this whole thing very slowly and painfully up the building like this. Usually I can just put the drains in one go and it's done, but here I've got to copy and paste and make sure to put the drains into the frames. It's a rather sad and painful process to do, but I'm going to do it, and I did. Once the drain system is in, I put in a few pipes at the top there to like wiggle it across, make sure it's at the side, and that's pretty much the drains for the building done. I'm not going to have more than one. Notice where I put the drains as well, sort of round the side, near the balcony. It's not interfering with the frontage, and I'm certainly not going to mess around close to the windows too much. Here I put in this little soot pipe, and it's very close to the windows. I don't like it. So I add it round the back here. First, I've got to put in a bit more cobblestone, so there's a little path there. A side alleyway, you could say. Then I put in this soot pipe here. This is like a little ventilation shaft, I guess. And now I'm going to wiggle this one around as well by cornering it so it touches and connects with the other piece there. You can see that one next to the railroad bits near the ovens. This is not easy because I've got to make sure the corner pieces of the vents are in properly. That looks about right. I've done it. I think I've done it. I've just got to move that piece in, the soot pipe, and that's done. I've got a nice ventilation system connected all the way from the bottom, right the way through to the top. It looks great like that. That could have been easier, but I like it when it's a little bit difficult because it gives me a challenge. At the front of the building, I put in some item frames ready for the sign of the bank. I put the sign for the bank in. It's very simple. It just says Mitsumaru Bank. It looks really good like that. Nothing too complex, a very simple minimalist design. I also tried to add those little maps there to make it very white, but it doesn't look good, so I don't like that. Instead, I'm going to add some simple hanging baskets later. Around the side of the building, I just want to make sure I add a few AC machines. So this is how I do it in first person mode. I put in a slab, I turn it into an entity, I grab the other slab in my hand, go in with the GUI tool and add a block state. Then I shift it across like that, looks good. Grab the AC unit in my offhand, go back in with the GUI tool and add that. Then I can shift that up and change the form. I like this one where it's in a little basket. I think it looks really good like that, sitting on a little shelf. Nice and safe, don't forget the bank. But at the side, look, it clips. It's okay like that. Let's copy it. I think it's okay like this. So I'm going to copy the whole thing with control middle click and stick them in on every floor like that. But at the side, look, it clips. It's very strange. It also clips at the back there. That's rather disheartening. It looks very good at the front like this. If I stick them all in like this, look, it should be okay. But I don't know if it is because they're clipping. That makes me very sad. I thought I was trying to be clever here. So what I've got to do then is remove all of those things and just stick in the AC unit like that. I think that would be a better choice. Go in with the GUI tool and turn it to Form 1. It's already got a little stand for it. It's not going to fall off the edge, is it? But that's a shame. Control middle click that one and then just replace all of these. What a shame that is. I really enjoyed having that little platform thing, but it doesn't matter. You live and learn. If it wasn't for the clipping, I would have gone with the shelf unit, but never mind. Looks good like that. Happy days. So now I'm going to start furnishing the entire building. The first thing I do is turn it to night mode so I can see if the building is dark. and add a few lights up the building and then stick in the hanging baskets like I said. I think the hanging baskets give it a bit of extra life on the outside. And that does look rather spectacular, doesn't it, next to the park? It's in the financial corporate area. I'm really happy with this build so far, so now it's time to go inside and start furnishing the whole place. I've got an idea what I want to do with the decoration. The windows are blue and the building is white, so everything else is going to match that sort of aesthetic. I'm using these blue office chairs all the way through the building, and this particular plant is called a cornflower. I really like that choice. I'm also using the Cocricot mod to choose these different bookcases and little shelving units for files and other things that people may need. This is the first floor and is going to be decorated with banking things directly related to customer service and help for people who might need certain things in the Mitsumaru Bank. Don't forget that this place is also a high-end financial office building, so it's not a customer service based place. But it looks rather good like this. I put in the computers with the telephones. I've made this little sofa area which is sunken. That was a mistake originally, but it looks really good with all these little notes and shelving units that people can use to get things they need from the bank. It's pretty much done here, but I do want to add a few extra details. I think it might need an ATM unit. So at the front of the bank, I'm going to make one using quartz blocks and a TV. I'm making sure to put in a lot of extra details here, like a telephone that acts as one of those numpads, and a little vase where you can get the money out. It's going to be quite simple really, but it does look good like that. It's like a vending machine, almost like an ATM machine, and a bit like one of those claw games as well. Once that's finished, I've got the template to make a fantastic ATM machine. All I need to do is copy and paste the blocks 1 or 2 more times. That looks great. So I middle click them and then just stick them in, so there's 2 ATMs at the front door. That looks excellent, doesn't it? The first floor is pretty much complete. I also add in a few extra templates here so I can hide the side of the ATM machine, because otherwise it's clipping and it looks a bit weird. That's the first floor complete. I add a few more shelving units in the corner, and then I head upstairs to work on the second floor. The second floor is going to be a recreation room for all of the staff. I'm just going to put some bookcases here so it's finished, and then I'm going to head upstairs and show you what I'm going to do with the second floor. On the outside of the building, I'm going to work on the balcony spaces first. I want those to be furnished with a simple sofa and maybe a little plant on one of those tables. Each of the balconies can be roughly the same. This one's got a mobile phone on it, look, that looks great. This one has a tea set. Slightly different on every floor, but very similar to the previous. Nothing too crazy. This one here is probably going to have a little plant there, and maybe I want to have something different here, so I'm going to add a little goldfish bowl. That looks good. The top floor is going to have another plant, and I'm just going to add a little bit of a rain cover as well, just in case there's a storm. All of the balconies are complete, so let's head back into the second floor and work on a toilet facility. I need a toilet facility for boys and girls, so I add one of those. It's going to be a big enough space, I guess. Around the side, I'm going to add these little chairs and a Japanese tea set with another cornflower on those wonderful blocks. I separate the spaces so I can have a male toilet there, look, and a female toilet there. The female toilet is going to be slightly bigger because I think they deserve a little bit more space for privacy. I'm going to add some tissue paper. The boys' toilet is literally just a toilet, though, with a light and a blue carpet. Outside the bathroom, they can have their sink because I don't have space inside. The female toilets do have space there for everything they need in the bathroom. So now that's finished, I'm going to add a little area for a coffee machine, put in a few bookcases and stuff, make sure the area is decorated with carpets, and a few posters here and there. This floor is basically just going to be a rest floor where you can go get your coffee and nip to the bathroom if you need it. Around the side there's a TV, and now I can start working on the third floor. The third floor is going to be a little bit more important. This is one of those places where you can phone in and talk about your problems with your banking issues. I'm going to make sure I have those standard ceiling lights. They look really good, and I'm going with the same color scheme all the way throughout, and that's blue and very office-like. I'm not going to have gaming chairs this time. I'm going to use the new office chairs that are available on the Yuushya mod's recent patch. I'm going to put in one of those tables with the cornflowers on. I love those little plants, they look great. I'm not going to change the plants too much throughout the building. Again, consistent design is key. If you change it up on every floor, it just looks like a random mess of random things, and I don't want that. I want it to look the same throughout. Nice little sofas in the corner there. Again, I like those blue ones, the cornflower blue ones. I put in a little carpet which looks the same throughout, making sure that the design has very similar touches. I'm going to add a few paintings. I really like the world painting. That looks good in a bank, doesn't it? Yeah, this is pretty cool. Now I'm going to work on the next floor. And here, this is going to have a very similar vibe to all the other floors, and I just want to make sure that I'm just fixing up the place with jacks and radiators to make sure that people get warm when it's cold. I put in a few tables over there with computers. I guess this floor is another call handling center area. A little Japanese tea set as well. Put in a few signs and notes, and make sure that this floor is also decorated with the same sort of corporate vibe. I really like those massive paintings as well. That particular design looks good, and it makes the place look a little bit more homely, like people have actually been here and it's a real place. Around the corner there, near the fire escape, I add a little sofa and another TV with a couple of paintings and a mobile phone just sitting there. At this point, I realized there's no water. People are going to get thirsty. People are going to get thirsty. So what I do is go around the entire place and stick in the water coolers because it's very important. People all over the world buy water that's been pre-treated as a way to circumvent problems with their own water facilities. In the UK, we have a treatment facility and the tap water is actually drinkable, but in a lot of places around the world, it's not. And it's often better quality water that you can buy if it's pre-bottled, because it has to be. There's legal requirements for that. So it's important to put that all the way throughout this office and actually in the Mitsumaru world itself. It's a recent addition to the Yuushya mod, just like the blue chairs. On this floor, you can phone in and deal with your issues to do with banking, just like all the other floors, to be honest. This one is, the stocks and shares floor. Why not? You can phone in and buy stocks for Mitsumaru City. That's a good idea, isn't it? I put in these little sofas and another coffee machine, the world map painting, which I love so much. I actually really like a lot of these paintings, and the blue carpet, which is available from Cocricot mod, and making sure to put the same kind of design all the way throughout the building so everything looks good. Upstairs, I'm changing the design a little bit, but it's going to be the same vibe it has to be. This floor is going to be a meeting room, so there's going to be a giant conference table in the middle with a bunch of different seats around. It's going to be a little bit different this time. I can't use the office chairs. Make sure to put up a few scrolls, a big painting, and then I'm going to put some green tea on the table, look, with some steam. That's called food steam, and it's available from the Cocricot mod, and it looks really good. Makes it look like the tea is freshly poured, and it looks like it's ready, and people have been here just recently. I also add another coffee machine up here, lots of bookcases, I guess they're finance books. It's a very important office block is this, and I'm actually really digging the design. It's making me very happy building this. If you're enjoying watching this, subscribe to my channel and send me a comment as well. I'm very interested to hear what you think of my design choices. I actually picked up a lot of these design ideas from my friend's city that I visited a couple of days ago. The Cocricot mod is filled with interesting design choices that I often miss, because when you press E and look at them, they don't look very good, but actually when you put them down in reality, they look amazing. The bookcases and the little shelving units especially. This is almost the final floor, and it's another call handling center for banking issues. They're all similar like that, I think. Got to put in the bookcases, keep the design exactly the same. Again, it's key and crucial to make sure that everything looks the same, otherwise it's just random stuff. I put in more shelving units. I guess they're the documents for the people who have issues with money or something. Maybe they're the clients for Mitsumaru Bank. That makes sense, doesn't it? Put in a few small posters. Make sure I put in a few big paintings as well. I like the design of that. Now for like the final floor, I believe. This one is going to be, guess what? Another call handling center. You could see the top floor there. I don't want to deal with that. This is the final area of the office. So here I'm going to add a sofa in the middle with the world painting. That's one of my favorites. I'm also going to add plenty of office tables, a few posters, maybe a little laptop on a shelf in the corner, making sure that this final office space is complete. I'm very happy with the design of it. It's pretty much finished now. There's not really anything I need to add. It's great. Very happy with that. The little side places are good too, with those little sofas. From the outside, you can see that it's fully decorated with all the utility spaces. It's a rather large office, but that doesn't detract from the value of it, does it? As I go down back to the ground, I change it to daytime mode, because now I need to start working on a little bit more detail for the building, and that is going to be the electric wires. I like to have electric wires going through the city like this, because it adds a level of mess. You know, I like things to be clean, but I also think having wires all over the city adds a bit of finesse. It means that everybody's in. People are doing stuff. I just need to find out exactly where I can put this little wiring unit. Near the 7-Eleven kind of pains me a bit because I do want that to be a bit cleaner, but I'm using these utility drops to connect the wires so they hang down a little bit. The Yuushya mod has got you covered, and it does look very good like that. Everything is connected to the Mitsumaru Bank, right next to the Opal Odyssey TV network. Doesn't that look like a fantastic corporate area? I'm very happy with this. Looks very good. I've also connected a wire right to the sign. That makes me a little bit sad. I like the idea of having that electric box, but it just doesn't work. There's a green electric box near the park though, and that does look good. Looks really nice building this. If you've liked this video, subscribe to my channel and send me a comment about it. You're also welcome to subscribe to my Ko-Fi channel. I'm trying to build up a little bit of support there. If you want to, you can donate. Maybe you can buy the schematic from me if you want to. The bank schematic is available. It's just $1. Just bear in mind that you do need the mods to use it, otherwise you won't be able to see it. Around the back of the building, I add a few plants and a couple of bins, making sure that it's nice and clean, but also dirty. Let's go take a tour of the place. This is Opal Pass. So as we go down here, you can see the Opal Odyssey TV network, heading to the financial capital of Mitsumaru, which is the bank. Around the side, you can see the stairwell for the fire escape, and as we go inside, you can see all the details in a first-person perspective. I really like that sunken sofa area, actually. That's one of the best things. There's those ATM machines, which were rather painful to build. Going upstairs, you can see the balcony area. It looks out onto the rest of the city, which I'm hoping is going to become a lot more vibrant. I added a vending machine here. The ladies' toilets, I'm not going to go in there because that's rude. But the men's toilets, you can see, perfect. Looks good around the side here with the fire escape. I'm not going to climb the fire escape yet, I just want to show you the building. Looks good, so let's go upstairs. It's rather troublesome to navigate my way through here, but this is the next floor. You can see it's decorated with a few more personal kind of paintings, like the dog. Over here's the balcony space, looks good. Very similar to the previous one, of course. I want the design to be the same all the way throughout the building. That looks like a nice office. Let's go upstairs to the next floor. Again, another office, decorated very efficiently and very nice. I like this place. There's also a little latte on that table if you saw it. Cool, the balcony space again, nicely detailed. Perfect for bankers. Let's go upstairs. A few more office tables here. Looks great in here. You can see here there's a little coffee machine and another balcony space. Wow, we're getting up the building now. It's very tall. Cool. Let's go up again. I really like those blue windows too. They just showcase... Oh, I can't squeeze past. Okay, that's fine. Let's go up here, look. You can see the balcony space doors. Look at these filing cabinets. Ah, yeah, this is the meeting room, isn't it? I like this little shelving unit, so I'm going to stick a few of them there. Whoops. I like that one. Put that one here and here. That'll do. I don't want to mess with the light too much. Looks good. Nice and busy. I like these little sideway things as well. Those little side alcoves. They're very good. Looks good here. Yep, you can see the fire escape place, coffee machine. Plenty of different little office machines there, little computers. Ooh, the goldfish bowl looks great. Look at that. We're nearly at the top of the building. This is one hell of a tour. I'm enjoying it. Let's go upstairs. Let's go upstairs. The final floor is kitted out just like all the others. You can see that's a wonderful little balcony space. It sees over to Oak Lake down there. You can see the crane and all the other stuff. There's going to be loads of things in this city. Mark my words. That's done, isn't it? Upstairs is the little utility space that I showed you how to make. Yep, you can open those trapdoors, and you can go out, and you can check out all the details here of my little space. I've got to jump over those pipes. Actually, I can just clip through them, but it looks good if I jump over them. Nice, very happy with that. Looks really good. Can I squeeze past? Yes, I can. My building is complete, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go around the side to the fire escape, and I'm going to walk down the stairs to make sure it's safe. Yeah, it works. Looks good. It's a bit of a mess. Look, things are clipping, and I don't really like those iron frames everywhere, but this is what you would expect in a fire escape type situation, isn't it? Nobody really cares about that. You've just got to get down the building. I nearly fell off. I nearly fell off. No, that's good. That's good. Heading down to the ground. Yep, one more floor. If you've liked this video, support me on Ko-Fi. And then maybe you can subscribe to my channel and send me a comment as well. I'm Ixical, welcome to my bank.